Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. On this particular one, I wanted to cover a different aspect that's not Ableton related. I'm going to be talking about a synthesizer that came out in 1980 called the Synclavier. And I want to show you how absolutely insanely powerful this synthesizer truly is. I'm actually using the Arturia synth here. And obviously the Synclavier looked very different from this. It had a big keyboard and a screen, and it was basically, when it came out in 1980, it was revolutionary. But I want to sort of show you just how unique this synthesizer is in terms of what you can actually do with it. So let me show you an example of the bass sounds that you can actually get out of the Synclavier. So this entire bass is Synclavier with a little bit of extra enhancements for modern production, okay? Right, so as you can hear, it's got a lot of movement to it. So why is the synthesizer so unique? It's basically an FM synth, okay? So here we can see the different sections like the engine, right? At the moment I'm on the screen mode, right? So you can see that's the partial edit in here, but I want to just use the screen here so it's easier. And this what allows me to do is allows me to create different movement to the sound. All right, let's just play it. It's just, what we're hearing is just a basic sine, right? Let me just turn it up a little bit so we can hear it, so it's not too quiet. I'm just going to bring the volume all the way. Awesome. I'm going to also bring the FM amount, the FM modulation all the way up so we can really hear the effect of the FM, right? So that's obviously quite strong. Let's turn this down. So straight away you can hear this kind of movement. Basically we got a carrier that we can actually edit. So let me show you what this means. I can set different stages, so I can go here and I can hold down command and add different places where the sound is going to change. And here, as you can see, I mean it's a little bit complex, but you can see this is how fast it's going to move between these frames, right? Look. So let me just turn that off so it doesn't go so crazy. And this one here, let's kill that. Right, and this one here, I don't want to keep doing that, so let's just go all the way to the end, and I'm going to delete those ones. Right, so let's do 3 stages of movement, right? And I'm going to move them farther apart, so you can see you can click and drag them away from one another, which is really cool. You can also hold down, if you want the shift, you just want to kind of like move one note close to the other, and this is basically the movement that we're going to get. Right, so it's the same, but what I can do is I can go, okay, the first one is just a sine, but the next one is going to be a sine with extra energy, and you can just click on command. You can see, you can hear the sound coming through, right, because we are adding all these extra harmonics, and we can just turn it down. There you go, right, so you can hear that woo. And then maybe the last one is going to be sort of mirroring this one, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to add one more harmonic, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of modulation with FM. That's quite a lot. So let's just turn it down a little bit because it is a little bit intense, isn't it? Let's just bring the global FM amount, which is here at the bottom. Let's just turn that down a little bit. There you go, that's better. Right, so that's really cool, and obviously we can play with adding more complexity to the FM. Right, so if we listen to that with the beat, let's turn it up, obviously loads because it's very quiet. So that one is quite strange, isn't it? And this is exploratory, right? Because we can just draw. So it's a matter of like, you can add more harmonics, we can add more complexity to the waveform by playing around with the carrier, but then the kind of metallic tonalities that you get is by using FM, which is basically the modulator here, right? So if we kill that off, obviously there's no FM, which can also be quite cool. But there's another thing that can happen is that we can detune or change the pitch of each one of these stages. So this is almost like wavetable, but FM wavetable, I suppose. So you can see like each one of these notes have got a different, basically you can have a different waveform that you build. So it's for bass sounds, it's absolutely freaking insane. Like, look, I'm going to detune this one. So it goes a little bit out. So you can hear how the pitch kind of like bends upwards towards the end. How cool is that? Or I potentially can go really high in semitones. It's going to be really silly, but you can hear it. So that's going to go insanely high in pitch. And you see it glides, right? It doesn't just suddenly jump. It goes from this value to this value and it just morphs. It's morphing between states, which is really cool. So I can, for example, start this one maybe like 2 semitones higher. This one goes down. That's normal. And this one, obviously, I don't want it to go that high. Maybe like it's going to go lower in pitch. Let's just go to -1. Already we got a tune there, right? At least not the tune, but a bass sound. That sounds really crunchy. And of course you can, once you got that, you can edit it. You can be like, oh, what happens if I add a little bit of FM on that sound? Not too much. The FM is so intense on this. I'm just gonna, sorry guys. I'm just gonna turn it down, right? And you can see I'm only using just one partial. We got 12 that we can layer if we want it. I mean, that's a bit insane. I'm not gonna go into that because this synthesizer that came out in 1980 is absolutely freaking insane. Like, I truly mean this. It is absolutely insane. I'd say it's probably like more, in terms of like for bass sounds and stuff like that, there's nothing there in the market as far as I'm aware, right? So you can see that this is really cool because we are actually, it's a bit like wavetable, but we're actually creating the wavetables on the fly as we see fit this way. And we actually got control of the timing as well of the wavetables, which is really crazy. You can see the timing there at the top in seconds, right? So it's really cool. The ratio here is the ratio of 1. So I'm going to go to 0, see if that sounds a little bit less intense. No, it's too low. Okay, let's go back to 1. But maybe I'm going to just lower the amount of FM and maybe just a global FM. Let's turn it down a little bit. That's better. So see, for bass sounds, it's better just to be very subtle and very, just not like in your face. The last one here has already got some cool movement, but I want it to happen sooner. So I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to move it closer to this. Let's add another modulator here. By the way, you can find the synth, just I didn't say, but you can find it in the Arturia collection. I'm sure many of you have got the Arturia collection because it's absolutely insane, but this particular synthesizer is, I don't know, I would say is a drum bass king. To my ears, it is. So dirty. It's got such a dirty tone to it, right? You can hear it, but there's more to it. You can even create looping. So this is start and this is the end of the loop. I can adjust them there. If I move this, let's move that to here. Okay, so one of the things is obviously when you've got the loop brackets active, you can just move them, right? So you can see that this is active now. This is forward looping. Right, and then you can have that, right? But then I can make them closer, so I'm going to hold shift and make those closer. And you can make it forwards, backwards, looping. And in between, I'm going to add another node there. That's going to be very simple. So it's just like a pure sine, but it's going to have more modulation. Maybe like you can even get something that's like, I don't know, like a sawtooth or square. You can click here if you just want to have a starting point, maybe a triangle. Let's bring it back. Let's turn it up a little bit. So yeah, it does get quiet, but it's okay because we obviously can compensate with the volume and just turn it up. And you can keep adding things, or you can keep editing and be like, oh, maybe this one has to be brighter. Maybe let's just add more energy to that. Maybe this one here. I quite like it basic. So the ones I'm editing are the ones that I'm clicking, these ones with the extra circle around them, right? So you can see here, I can click and edit. I mean, I think this is absolutely bonkers. And of course, then we can add plugins, you know, because we got Ableton. And I mean, you can go as crazy as you want, because remember that I can add another one here. And maybe that one here, I'm going to make it go low and detune. And this one is just going to be like just pure sine. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. There you go, guys. So I just wanted to share this with you, just to show you some of the capabilities of other synthesizers besides the Ableton ones. The Arturia ones are actually really good, but this is an actual goodie. I think is an absolutely insane synthesizer for drum and bass, especially for bass sounds. And I was debating whether I wanted to share this with you because it's a bit out there. But yeah, I think you guys should check it out. For those of you that have got the Arturia collection, I would highly recommend you guys to test it out, have fun with it, and just create some amazing, evolving bass sounds, right? Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, remember that if you want to learn from me, I teach one-to-ones as well. You can find details in the description below. I also have got a sound design module as well that you can find details for as well. And my preset pack for Ableton Live. And so thank you so much again. If you like the video, please leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. Ask us any questions if you've got any questions. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to follow as well. And on to the next one. So thanks, guys, and talk to you soon.